today we talked about mixed numbers and improper fractions. And I want to just do a little review. We talked about the numbers that come between 0 and 1. Those are simply just fractions. And we talked about how we could call those proper fractions, because proper fractions have a numerator that is less than the denominator. So 1/2 is a proper fraction. 3/4 would be a proper fraction. The numerator is less than the denominator. But now we also have all of these numbers that come between two whole numbers. So between 1 and 2, between 2 and 3. And those numbers that come between two whole numbers we can call mixed numbers. We talked about those yesterday. And mixed numbers, remember, are a whole number and a fraction. So here's an example of a mixed number, 1 and 1/2. That's a mixed number. But we also learned today that there are improper fractions that come between two whole numbers. 3/2 would be an example of an improper fraction. And an improper fraction is improper because the numerator is greater than the denominator. So for your homework tonight, you're looking at some fraction or some number models, and you're going to have to determine the mixed number and the improper fraction. So let's look at this first one. We can see that there are two wholes, correct? And then we have to look at the next one and see that's divided into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 equal parts. So my denominator would be 5. And there are 3 of those fifths shaded in. So my numerator would be 3/5. Or my numerator would be 3. So the mixed number that's being represented here would be 2 and 3/5. Now, how are we going to figure out what this improper fraction is? Well, we know that in one whole, if it were divided into fifths, we would have 5 out of 5 colored in. And I'm just going to quickly divide it into 5 equal parts. And this whole would be represented with 5/5. And then this part would be 3/5. So 3/5 plus 5/5 plus 5/5 would give me 13/5. So I could label each of these 1/5, 1/5, 1/5, 1/5, 1/5. And this one, 1/5, 1/5, 1/5, 1/5, 1/5. So I could just count those up one by one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. There are 13/5. So when looking at this number, the mixed number would be 2 and 3/5, and the improper fraction would be 13/5. The same number, just written two different ways.